What is going on, everyone? Hope you guys are having a great day. Well, first I'm gonna let the overture play first, and also rearrange some settings. If the game's too loud, let me know. If I'm too quiet, let me know. And yeah, I'm playing the demo on Steam. I'm gonna lower that down around here. Yeah, I'm aware. Give me a few seconds, because I'm just letting the overture play first. Can't interrupt the overture. And then I'm gonna go out and rearrange some settings. Yeah. I hear you guys. That's just me just having the game on too fucking loud. But hey, we should have that overture go fucking bombastic. I assume you guys agree on that. But anyways, what's up? What's up, everyone? It's been since November, I think, since we last streamed. But anyways, is the mic levels on the game too little, too low, too high? Let me know before we actually start streaming. But yeah, it's been a while. I believe the last time we streamed was the DQ 1 and 2 HD 2D stream. Yeah. Nah, I just haven't been motivated to stream. And this month I'm kind of just like trying to re-energize myself. We're in a new year. New Year's resolution is we're going to grow this channel to 1,500 subscribers. To 1,500 subscribers and eventually 2,000 or hell even 5,000. So we're going to go out and grind the fuck out this year. With content. So I think you guys will appreciate me just grinding the hell out this year. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed Monday's video as well. So yeah. But anyways, just to answer your question, Naka, I am playing this on Steam because... Oh yeah, that is something I would like to do, but... Let's start with this file right here. Yeah, exactly. But it's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a good year for Das Royo. Yeah, so yeah, I'm playing on Steam because I thought about this. I thought about requesting for a review code for the Switch 2 version again. But then ultimately, because the game does come out 3 days earlier if you buy that deluxe edition, I ultimately decided that we're just not going to get the review code and we'll just play it through the deluxe version 3 days early. And more than likely, if I did get a review code from Square Enix, they probably would have given me a code the day of the official release, not the early access release. But anyways, how's everyone doing? It's been a while. Yes. Yeah, and probably give it 3 weeks, and then you'll see a Dragon Quest VII review. Because behind the scenes, what I've been doing was playing through the PS1 version and the 3DS version of 7 for a review. Alright. Use left stick to walk around, RT to move, while dash. Oh no, I'm done. I'm literally done with that. I started playing the PS1 version back in September when they originally announced 7 Reimagined. I beat that version in October, and then I started work on the 3DS version, and then I beat that in December. I just need one more piece of footage to record for the 3DS version, and then we'll be good to go for the review. So it's been a project I've been working on for quite a while. Yeah. Anyways, let's... And also, if anyone's wondering, I am running this game at 120 FPS on my PC. I tried running this at 240 FPS because one thing about me is that I recently bought a 240 Hz monitor that's like OLED and all. And it was capable of 240 Hz. And unfortunately, I couldn't get it to 240. I could get it at most to 160. And because OBS kind of likes to fuck up when you're running at inconsistent frame rates here and there, I just decided, okay, we're just gonna go out and just have this run at 120, because if it's consistent at 120, I should be fine. But anyways, let's actually lock from the inside. Let's talk to the priest, because I'm kind of just gonna be fucking around here. Yeah, I believe they render at 4K 60. Now, one of my friends, he's not too much into Dragon Quest like me, but he went out and got the demo. I think he has a more powerful PC than I do, and he was able to get it running at 240. I don't know if it's native or dynamic, but someone went out and checked it with the raw eye, and they basically said that, oh, I think it's 4K. They said that the Switch 1 version was 1080p 30, Switch 2 was 1660p at 60, and then PS4, PS5, because this was a Japanese person that was playing the demo, they saw it running at like at 4K 60. Yeah. Though I don't know if I should trust that. It's just what they're saying at the moment. Let's head upstairs. Yeah. And also, just disclose, just a little bit of a disclosure here. I did play the demo before, because the Japanese Switch 2 version was available for download, so I went on and played that. So, where I'm at right now with the review is that the script's written, though technically how I write scripts is outlines. So technically I didn't like write a full script, I just wrote an outline of what I'm going to say for the review. So that's written now, I just need to go out and record the audio. But in between now and the 7 review, I'm also going to release my Trails in the Sky 2nd chapter review next Thursday. So that's going to take priority first, and then I'm going to be full force on getting the 7 review out. And it should come out in February, in the February time, probably when the early access comes out for 7 Reimagined. So I can go on and capitalize on the views and all that. And also, in between, I'm also going to be doing a 7 Reimagined Impressions video, because of course we're playing the demo and I'm recording footage for this. It'll be both Dragon Quest and Trails. I'm gonna try to expand it to be more RPG gaming related, but for now, it's gonna be focused on Trails and Dragon Quest. More so Dragon Quest, because obviously you guys come here for the Dragon Quest content. But I will sprinkle in some Trails videos or reviews every so often when I feel like it. And also, I'm pretty sure that this is like a brand new, like, recorded orchestra for the music here. Because it definitely sounds different from the 3DS version. I don't know why, but I kind of feels like it, if that makes sense. Can't afford this. It would be nice, but I assume they only had the budget to work on the full 3D version. But even then, based on what I've played so far, was the demo on Switch 2. They changed a lot more in Reimagined than they did in the 3DS version. You'll see when we play through this more. Though I kind of do think this is probably what they envisioned Dragon Quest VII to feel like. This whole diorama kind of look here. Though I can kind of tell this game's a little bit budgeted in some sense, because I'm pretty sure for the NPC models, they are reusing assets from the 3DS version and just like touching them up for this version here. Oh yeah, absolutely. It'll probably be described in my 3DS portion of that video. Like, you'll find out a lot about my thoughts on Dragon Quest VII. Anyways, let's talk to our old man. Yeah, because the 3DS version was the first time I played DQ7. Like, I didn't really play the PS1 version until this review, so you'll find out a lot about that. Yeah, I won't be able to cover the mobile port because you have to have a Japanese account for that, and for either Google or Apple, and they definitely do make it hard for you to make an overseas account for that. It's not like Nintendo where you can just slap in an email and password and there you go. Like, I'll probably talk a bit about the fact that the 3DS version was ported over to mobile, but that's really about it. So yeah, first thing you'll notice right now is that there's only now one floor to the ship. There used to be like two floors originally on both PS1 and 3DS, but on Reimagined they shrunk it down to, oh god, where do I want to go? They shrunk it down to just one floor. And there's gonna be a lot more changes like this. So I'll say my opinions are a little bit more positive on DQ7. Still not. I still don't highly regard the game at all, but. But I've said in some discords that I do prefer the PS1 version over 3DS, and you'll find out why when I talk about it more. I don't want to give out too much details. And you can obviously tell with the dialogue here, it's based on the 3DS translation. Yeah. And there's definitely things about the PS1 version that I don't like. But I'll talk more about that in the review.
No. No.
But yeah, in terms of lighting, this is a gorgeous game here. Alright, let's head down. It's slightly, the quality of the music is slightly different. Like I notice it in very few occasions. Like I'll point it out once we get to one of the songs that I do notice where the music sounds slightly different. Because right now, you can barely tell the difference here from 3DS and reimagined. Yeah, like that. Like back in the day, like when developers were kind of forced to use MIDIs for their OSTs, and they weren't pretending that it was not like orchestrated music. Like it kind of feels different. Like I think the problem I have with the current MIDIs we have now with Dragon Quest is that they try to be orchestral, but obviously they're not. It's MIDIs. Also, another difference you probably notice right now. This was where you used to find the one dwarf village here, the dwarf house here, and they took it out here and reimagined. So I'm kind of curious of how. I'm kind of curious of how they're gonna handle that once you get to Rough. Oh yeah, menu. I'm gonna talk about that when I talk about the 3DS version. Because one thing I found out was that the menus on the 3DS version refresh at 15 frames per second. So there's a reason to why you experience menu lag in 3DS, because for whatever reason they said we're going to refresh these at 15 frames. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. That pisses me off in DQ7, but obviously that time will come once we actually take a look at the game itself. I'm gonna head over to the castle. Actually, first I'm gonna head here. That really just depends on how much I record, and then once I'm done with the audio recording, I anticipate probably a half an hour review, but it could be longer, it could be shorter, you never know. So yeah, half an hour is what I'm anticipating. But it could be longer. You never know. And also, yeah, the throwing mechanic is not here again in Reimagined. Let's check this out. Yeah. Anyways, let's get out of here. Let's head over to the castle. I can kind of hear, like, I'm listening to the castle theme now. Like, they're using different horns. Like, I can tell they're using different horns than they did in the 3DS version. Like I don't know if I ever do my review on 7 Reimagined. Whenever I get my review done for 7 Reimagined, I am going to fucking point this out. Like, I'm not crazy. Anyways, we got Keeper here.
俺たちの計画を忘れちゃいないよな。
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, I thought that what they were going to do was port over the 3DS version, probably redo the models and call it a day. But no, they went in and like decided to go out and remake this game and go further beyond when it comes down to what they plan to change.
実は城の倉庫で古文書を見つけたんだ。今までになく年季が入っててさ、こいつは本物って感じがするんだよな。それからさ、もう一つ気になるものがあったんだ。ちょっと見てくれよ。お前、今ただのガラクタだと思ったら。
Well, I think you already know what he does towards the end of this game, towards the middle of the game. Like you'll hear a rant from me, is all I'll say.
例の古文書によると、この島の東の山奥には何か神殿のようなものがあるらしい。そしてその神殿の扉を開く方法があるらしいんだ。
I'll just say that he needs to stick up for the homies. It's all I'll fucking say on that.
何が隠されててもおかしくないよな。ともかく船の修理は一旦後だ。俺は東の山奥に行って神殿とやらを探してみるよ。お前は親父に呼ばれてきたんだろ。悪いけど長めにおしゃべりして時間稼ぎをしておいてくれ。 それで親父の用事が済んだらお前も東の山奥に来いよ。先に行って待ってるからな。
Edmund knows what I'm getting at. So, I think my rants on DQ7 are going to be radically different from my rants on DQ2 because DQ2's problems more so is it's broke. In some cases, it was broken back in the day on NES. It had issues and all that from a game design flaw, from a game design standpoint and all. 7's issues are more story related, in my opinion.
キーファ王子はまだ見つからんのか。
And I think the rants that you'll hear in my 7 review are going to be inherently funny when it comes down to it, because you're going to just hear me say all this crazy shit in those rants.
ここは一つ私に免じて。キーファ様もきっと何かお考えあってのこと。どうかお気を鎮められますよ。何もそなたがかばわんでもよい。いつからそこにいたのじゃ。待ちかねておったぞ。まあよい。さあさあこっちじゃ。とにかくそこに座るがよい。わしの目をしっかりと見るのじゃ。よいかな。
Oh yeah.
ズバリ聞くぞ。そなたはこのわしに何か隠しておろう。
I should be saying yes because what Kiefer eventually does, but we'll stand up for the homie.
近頃のキーファはまるで何かに取りつかれたように落ち着かぬ様子であったが、今日とうとうあの大バカ者は大事な妃の形見の指輪を持ち出しよった。毎日ふらふらと遊んで。
Yeah.
一体あのバカ。
I remember that. I remember that. When we did the 500 sub special stream, that was a bunch of people basically saw me spurg out.
何やら言い訳臭くなってしまったな。ともかくこうしている間にもあやつは島のどこかでよからぬことを企んでおるのだろう。そなたにお願いじゃ。あやつがこれ以上無茶をせんように。
And I know we're not talking about the Japanese voiceovers. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff.
この国の未来を思うならどうかよろしく頼むぞ。
All right, let's get out of here. Actually, I'm gonna go on and talk to Kiefer's sister, because that is something. Because there's gonna be a reason to why I'm gonna explore the castle first before we head on over to meet up with Kiefer. You'll see how it starts off, because one thing I'm going to do is kind of address why I'm heading over to 7 first and not doing DQ4. And also we got a mini medal. Like I don't like doing the same thing over again. And they still kept the fucking list for Kiefer's sister. I just don't know why they just thought, yeah, we're gonna keep the list for her, when it kind of just makes her non-serious now, just because that they added in that little thing for your character. So The thing is that obviously the next review should have been Dragon Quest IV, but because we're getting 7 reimagined, we're not doing 4 at the time being. So it's kind of just like, I kind of explained why we're doing 7 first. And kind of reassure you got, and yeah, I will still do Dragon Quest 4, 5, and 6. That is something I will do. But for now, it's Dragon Quest VII. If that makes sense. And that's probably getting, and that will be something that will happen this year. I will get the Dragon Quest IV review out. That is something I am curious about. Oh god, the Mini Metal Center is now here now. It's no longer its own place anymore. Yeah, PS1 version will be... DS and mobile will be the same. PS1 version will be talked a little bit about because there's no official English localization for that. Like, I will address it, but I won't be able to talk too much about it because it's all in Japanese. But yeah, it will be something we'll talk about. Anyways, let's actually move on and head over to the Shrine of Mysteries. Let's grab this right here. Damn, you're right, Naka. You are right. I am breaking some promises I made this year. But yeah, I am going to try to talk about the PS1 version as much as I can, but it's not going to be like a full review of that version.
あ、来たか。お前一人でここへ来られるか。ちょっと心配してたんだ。ついに禁断の地とやらに来てしまったな。もう後には引けないぜ。おっと、そんなことよりこれを見てくれよ。どうだ。そこに描かれた賢者の絵はこの像にそっくりだろう。俺の勘が正しければズバリこの像に何かを捧げれば何かが起こるってことだぜ。じゃーん、そこで登場するわ。我が王家に伝わる。
Oh yeah, that'll be one of these days. I should intro the video where I just speak Japanese for a little bit. Like that, I don't know if you guys like watched Filthy Frank back in the day where he was like talking about weeaboos, and he just starts off the video just speaking in fluent Japanese. Like, that is something I would like to do for this channel.
よし、そうこなくっちゃ。何が禁断の地だ。 何が王家の墓だ。そんな言葉で終わらせて、それ以上研究しなかった学者たちは怠慢だよな。俺はずっと思っていたんだ。この島の遺跡には何か秘密が隠されているって。それも俺の運命を変えてしまうような
yeah, hell yeah.
何かが。よし、行くぞ。よっと。
And nothing
何
happens.
も起こらないみたいだな。どうやらこの指輪は期待外れだったようだ。しかしこんなこともあろうかと、俺には他に予備がある。触ると木漏れ日のように暖かい不思議な宝石ホットストーン。これならどうだ。
And you can hear the original terms of these items, like sizzling stone, hot stone,
こ
stuff.
いつもダメか。だが諦めるのはまだ早い。さっき見つけた石の板、今のとこ光ってはないけど、ダ
Oh
メ
yeah,
だ
yeah.
と。
Should have mentioned earlier when we were talking to Kiefer in Estard Island, one of the stone tablets, he just happened to have it.
古文書も石の板も期待外れだったようだ。やっぱりこの島には世界の謎を解く鍵なんて何もないんだな。よし、こういう時は切り替えが大切だ。俺たちにはまだボロ船を修理して島の外へ出る計画が残ってるしな。
I think some DLC tablets will be worked into 7 Reimagined story-wise. If it's going to be in post-game, it makes sense. Or if it's throughout the game, we'll see.
付き合わせちまって悪かったな。それじゃ帰ろうぜ。
Yeah. Like, we do know, at the very least, they added in a new story scenario with you meeting up with older Kiefer. Yeah. Well, we know 4 of them are optional, which it's, Grintham, I forget the other 3 names. Oh, yeah. Immigrant Town. There's Volvograd, and there's one more that was made optional. I just... Like, it's on the top of my head, but I can't remember it at the moment. Yeah, the Haven's now... Yeah, the Haven's now optional now. Yeah. The Haven's now optional. Volvograd's now optional, Green-Thumb's now optional, and there's one more that's now optional, but the name's just escaping my mind right now.
あの神殿の扉のことか。足りないって一体何がだよ。
I'll remember it later. Oh yeah, it's not again. Not again is the other optional area, the one with the little worm creature. And then they took out Providence, they took out El Ciclo, and they took out Grondel. But yeah, you can kind of tell right now they changed how the intro sequence works. Instead of eventually being able to go into the inside the building and getting the sword, shield, helmet, and armor, we're just going after the stone tablets. And of course, for my live streams and my review, I will be covering everything, even the optional stuff.
ったな。やっぱり世界の謎を解く鍵はこの島の中にあったんだ。
They did say that they were going to have that for a limited time, and I guess by then it was
試練の矢を乗
over.
り越えるんだ。行こうぜ。
Yeah, it's now back to $80 now. Though at least for me, I don't fucking I bought it for $50, so yeah, it's not. At least for me, I can say I paid $50 for it. Hey, our first little MIDI sound. Right. Let's first head over and find some stone tablets. There's something going on here in Bushbell. There's something here. Something going on in our home. Let's check it out. Yeah, I think it's in a positive direction. Like, even though we have that 3D investments firm coming in, I think overall Dragon Quest should be fine. Because I've talked about this before with 3D investments. I don't think they'll get everything they want. They will probably reach a concession with Square Enix on having a middle ground, we'll say. But you never know with that kind of thing. But yeah. Yep, we were looking for something here. Good old dad. Anyways, we got a yellow fragment. Let's go. Let's head over to Estard. But yeah, to answer your question, Naka, I do think Dragon Quest is in a good direction, and I do think we'll see 12 this year. And hopefully it comes out this year, because I made a bet with someone that if it doesn't come out this year, I'll give him $30. Then I give them $30, or something equivalent to $30. That's what happens there. Like I'm not one to go out and skirt away from bets I make. Like I will honor the bet. There's some. I forgot that we had to go and get these balls here. I wasn't really paying attention to the dialogue. Yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy. Anyways. Oh yeah, this is where the Rainbow Cove is now. At least, I'll give Reimagined this. This is a better implementation of where they swapped the Rainbow Cove at over what they did in 3DS. Yeah, that... Like, if that's the case, that would be insane, but I do think we'll probably see it relatively soon. At the earliest this year, at the latest next year, and it'll be on current gen. So, switch to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. Let's grab some water. And I do think there is that possibility of the PS6 being delayed because of the whole RAM shortage thing that's going on. That we're all experiencing. Which kind of sucks for me because I kind of wanted to move up from 32 gigs to 64 gigs, and now I have to wait for RAM prices to drop a bit. Anyways, let's talk. Yeah. Like, I was thinking about upgrading last year. And I was thinking, like, I'll wait until Black Friday. There'll probably be some good deals on RAM. $400 for 2 sticks of 32 gigs. Yeah. And then here I am. My chips are gone now. Unfelted on RAM. Yeah. Yeah, definitely not as felted as Dickers, but man. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'll wait till Black Friday, and then AI said, no, we want this RAM for ourselves. And here I am, just stuck with 32 gigs of RAM, but at the very least, 32 gigs of RAM is fine. Like, I can do mostly what I need to do. And also, this is your puzzle here in Reimagined. Yeah. Yeah, AI is definitely more mom and pop than I am here. With this small 1,300 subscriber channel. Anyways, here we go. Got another tablet piece here. And yeah, this is basically what you do here now with the puzzles. He's in the game. You'll see where where that guy is. Like, you kind of heard him earlier when they were talking about, oh, you need to find the tablet stones. Alright, let's... Yes, Kiefer, we shall get the next fragment. Estard. And we need to go talk to the old hermit. And yes, you can pet the dog. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Na.
Is that happening tomorrow? Kind of, yeah. I'm kind of excited what they have cooking for the anniversary announcement. It's been a while since Persona 6 was ever announced, though they could just blue ball us and just say, oh, we're just talking about the Persona 4 remake we announced last year. But you never know. Alright, we have the key that'll let us do the trial now. But yeah, I'm gonna have my impressions video up on the demo, hopefully tomorrow, if not on Friday. Like, it's going to be a pretty busy week. Like, obviously you haven't seen like 2 videos in 1 week in quite a while on this channel, so yeah. Let's do the trial now. Open this door. And look at that, another puzzle that we need to do. And this one's actually pretty straightforward. And we do this. And then we move that a little forward. And then we stand right here. Nope, they're not from PS1. These are original to 7 reimagined. There... Do you remember the first puzzle in the first cave? The puzzle in the first island that you go to? The one with the matching colors? They did rework that one. And you'll see how they reworked it. And I actually kind of prefer what they did in Reimagined than what was there originally. But yeah, right here. Like, the horns sound different than the 3DS horns. Like, I don't know if they're using actual different horns, or if this is just a completely different recording. Oh god, I actually have this at normal speed. We're going ultra fast. We're not dealing with... Yeah. It's almost been an hour, and we just got into a battle. But even then, I was kind of just fucking around. If you're optimizing time, you can probably get into a battle like in like 10 to 20 minutes. Oh yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna heal Kiefer. We don't need to heal the main hero just yet. So, now we do. We have like a bunch of middle guards that were like going on that guard.
ありがとな。
I guess because it's different developers and they had like different ideas of what they wanted to do with difficulty in this game. Like maybe that's why, but honestly, I don't fully know. Yep, and Kiefer leveled up, let's go. Alright, let's head over to the Shrine of Mysteries. And I guess just to show this off, because we're here now. I'm gonna use this Chimera Wing, just... Oh, wait. Won't let us use it. Never mind then, never mind. It's a little too basic, yeah, I kind of agree with... Like, at least with 11S, it was a little bit more stylized. Yeah, it almost does. Which I'm kind of dreading once we get to 12, if this is going to be the new UI. I hope not, but you never, it's probably going to be the case. That's good. Let's head over to the Shrine of Mysteries. And suddenly it's nighttime. Alright, let's get headed into the Shrine of Mysteries. Kiefer's mouth kind of looks fucking weird. Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Looks pretty nice. Like, one of these days I should go on and replace my plates, but... Because I'm kind of getting bored with the white, even though I don't really use my PS5. Like, I like to give it a little bit more style, but we'll see. We'll see. Yep, we have Maribel joining us. But yeah, this is what it is right here, Shrine of Mysteries.
は
You know, that's actually the one thing I need to do for the 3DS run is to do the Maribel glitch. Because I haven't seen it in person, but I obviously want to show it off. So I am going to do like one thing where I have Maribel on my team and do all of that. Like, that's literally the only thing I need to record. Yeah. Though actually, I played the PS1 version, and that glitch doesn't exist. I was able to beat the Demon Lord just fine with Maribel in my team, and I went from there. But I definitely hear it a lot about the 3DS version having that glitch. So yeah, now let's do this right here. So let's do this one right here. So do you want to know how you put these tablets on? I see. So that's like what the theory is. That's interesting though. I just don't remember it. Like, I know it just didn't happen to me in the PS1 version. I believe so, because I believe the glitch is that you're supposed to kill the Demon Lord. And Maribel's supposed to pop up in a specific area in once you beat the Demon Lord, which causes the glitch to occur. But yeah, this is how the puzzle works now. It's pathetic now. As in, there's no puzzle. Then probably not. We'll see what happens. I'll try to see, because I took Maribel with me to face God. That's one thing I did.
大丈夫なわけないでしょ。何だったのよ今のは。
さあ、あの神殿にいて何かが起こったのは確かだけど、そういえば見たことのない場所だな。島にこんなところがあったのか？
何言ってんのよ。あったに決まってるじゃない。現にこうしてあるんだし。
So I'll have to look up how to do that glitch exactly, because I've heard it was like it relates to the Demon Lord, but I'm not sure.
もう本当に最低な気分だわ。さてと、じゃあ私は家に帰るからね。遊んでくれてありがとう。つまらなかったわ。じゃあね。
さて、俺たちもいつまでもここにいても仕方ないしな。行こう。
Alright. But yeah, definitely for sure I want to recreate the glitch, because
今の声は
I have not seen the glitch like on video, and it'd just be fun to actually do it. do auto battle because it's not. This is not really. It's kind of just mashing A. So it's not that big of a deal if I don't actually mess around with stuff. There we go. I guess so. Oh yeah, and also your characters now have classes from the start. And that's just how you learn abilities now and spells. Leveling up doesn't teach you any new spells at all.
魔物？今のが魔物なのか？
じゃなかったら今の薄気味悪い生き物は
It makes sense of why they would add in auto battle for that specific reason.
とにかくこんなことになったのはあんたたちのせいだからね。いいこと？あんたちゃんと責任を取って私を無事に家まで送り届けるのよ。
魔物。おい、ちゃんと見たよな。今のは本物の魔物なんだぞ。くー、なんだか知らないけどワクワクしてきたぜ。
バカ！どうしてこんな時にあんたは喜んでんのよ。とにかく私は
Probably
いつまでも
possible,
こんなとこ
for
ろに
sure.
いたくないわ。さっさと私を連れて家に帰るのよ。いいわね。
Alright. And then this is shortcut commands. So we can do heal all. There's nothing. Yeah, nothing around here. Probably not because I didn't do it for my run. Because one thing I don't think people have really pointed out is that the 3DS version of 7, at least for me, when I replayed it for this run and this review, it reminds me a lot of what Nintendo did with not Dragon Quest, was Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, when they remade it for 3DS. I don't want to go too deep into why I think that's the case, but it does remind me of it. And why people have issues with the 3DS version of Majora's Mask. That and also just like I just noticed a lot of things that kind of just seemed ultra streamliney when it came down to it. Because one thing about Majora's Mask is that Eiji Aonuma, who was the director on that game, like, he doesn't like that game. Like, he actually kind of resents Majora's Mask. Which is why you saw all these like weird changes in terms of gameplay mechanics, streamlining, all that stuff. Aonuma resents the original N64 version. It's part of the reason why the 3DS version has all these changes in the first place. It's because it was things that he saw in the N64 version, he saw as flaws. So a lot of changes that the 3DS version went through was because of him.
死んだ者の魂も少しは癒されましょう。死んだ者。ところで、あなた方はこれからどこに向かうおつもりでしょう？
どこっていうか、
And And 7, and the changes made to 7 3DS does remind me of what they did to Majora's Mask, of streamlining the game, fixing flaws, though I don't think it's because they resented the original PS1 version. It was just because they heard all this feedback that the PS1 version took so long for you to get into a battle, you got lost in the intro sequence, all that stuff. So they were just listening to feedback in that case. Because I don't remember Hori ever saying that he never liked DQ7. Like, he probably just thought of it as a fine version, as a fine game. But he heard feedback and he was like, okay, we will address this, we will address things that people find problems with. Let's do some more grinding. At least one more level for everyone. So yeah, this is not pepped up here, so as you can see here, this is what it does here. And it varies between party members. Like, I do think that there is something that you lose from the other versions of DQ7. We'll deal with some later. Do a little more of grinding. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't mind the new sound effects. Like, it's kind of partly because Dragon Quest XI was really what got me into the series in the first place. So these sound effects are kind of nostalgic in that sense. If that makes sense. Hero. Yeah, this is very Dragon Quest XI, like, when it comes down to the battles. Yep. It's crazy. It's kind of insane that happened where we couldn't even get anything in between the 35th and 40th. have a feeling that Kiefer's about to level up, so I'm gonna be a little risky on. But yeah, I do think we are going to see that game this year. Like, it's been 5 years. Like, I don't think there's really much defending it. It's like, the game just went through development hell. And yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of it. To the best of people, that something like that will happen at times. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get my ass whooped, but... Oh yeah, I did hear that. Like, I do think we're gonna learn a bit about why it took so long for that game to come out. Like, at the very least, they're gonna explain this was why it took a while for it to come out and all. I think was Persona 6. Like, it probably wasn't really worked on because the main team that would normally work on something like Persona was working on Metaphor. So, and more than likely, the team that was working on 6 was like a skeleton crew that was trying to get like some kind of vertical slice out for everyone to see. I don't think so. I just think that game was in development hell in general. Just based on what we heard about Yumiyaki and what he wanted for the company, what he wanted for his division, which is the reason why he's been repositioned around the company, and why we now have whoever is directing these Dragon Quest games, whoever was working on DQ11 come back. Like, I can't say that for certain, but is what I think is likely. Kind of wanted to push more for mobile. Like, that was kind of like what he wanted his division to primarily mostly work on. And it's kind of the reason why he's got shuffled around with Square Enix, and this guy's no longer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like what people have been saying about that current time of Dragon Quest. I can take that. I can take that. Yeah, I'm glad as well. Like, these remakes are definitely what I prefer over what they did. Like, I don't need to make another video talking about the Dragon Quest spin-off problem again. Like, it came from the heart. I was like, yeah, this is the problem here of why you shouldn't be focusing on these goddamn fucking spin-offs. Anyways, we took care of the monster. It was a little sloppy, but we did it. Like, I was able to, I think in my first playthrough, I did that a little later. But I was like, you know what? I have this party member here, so let's take him down. Yeah. And I'll say this, like, was the guy that used to run that creative studio business, his name was Yumiyaki. Like, he used to have a lot of good ideas. He used to, like, lead that company, that division pretty well. It's the reason why we had the Scene remakes on DS. It's the reason why we had Dragon Quest IX in the first place, and 11, and all the other Dragon Quest projects throughout the years, like Builders 1, like the Builders games and Heroes. But then 2020, for whatever reason, things kind of just fell apart. Where that was the year where Keshi came out for a little bit and then died. It's also the reason to why we saw Infinity Strash be a thing and end up with the quality it was at. I really did. I really did. When you really think about it, I became a DQ content creator during a bad time. It's kind of the same when you put it that way, but you're not entirely wrong. Though that was like around the same time, like, I was in the Sack Chief server, and Sack Chief wanted to find editors at that time, which is how he found me. And he kind of knows I was making videos around that time, which is why I edited for him for a little bit, and here I am now where I'm making DQ content. What should we do? Should we just go on and get a copper sword, or we boost up our defenses? Yeah. Yeah, no worries, Bradley. Like, if you need to do stuff, do stuff. We're just enjoying ourselves here. I played Persona 5. I played a bit of P3 and P4. Though I've beaten Persona 5 Royal, I haven't beaten P3 or P4. And I'm not all too interested in Metaphor. But getting more into Atlas titles is something I would like to do. But part of it is also because I got myself into the Trails series and Falcom. Yeah, Yumiyaki, it's like, that would be interesting to know, like, why exactly, like, Yui Miyake was thinking, let's do these spin-off games that, rather than actually, like, make more engaging stuff. Okay. And I'm gonna give this onto, put this onto Kiefer, and I don't really need Charm just yet. Yeah, I hope so as well. Yeah, exactly. And then while we have Falcom out there, pumping out games left and right. Yeah, it's definitely, like, Yumiyaki, there's definitely a fall of grace from him. Like, I don't know if that was what people were telling him to do during the Password Dream before Takeshi Kiryu came in, or that was like his whole prerogative of, oh, we need to focus on these mobile titles. Like, rather than Octopath 2, let's make an Octopath mobile game before we make Octopath 2. Like, it could be a combination of both him and the old regime. You and Jim Ryan.
なんだ人間だよねとにかく中に入ってよ驚かせてごめんこの家が魔物に気づかれたのかと思ってびっくりしちゃってね僕はパトリック
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some water.
そうだ
And
それよりお兄ちゃんたち旅の人なんでしょだったらどこかでマチルダっていう女の人に会わなかった
yes, we did.
よかったマチルダは今この村を魔物から守ってくれてる人なんだだけど最近姿を見なくてお父さんも怪我をしてるこんな時にマチルダまでいなくなったら
Yeah, I remember that gif.
お父さん大丈夫傷が痛むのああごめんね話の途中でここに寝ているのは僕のお父さんなんだお父さんはこの村の戦士さらわれた女の人を助けるために魔物と戦ってこんな怪我をこの怪我を治すには緑色の宝玉の輝きが必要だってお医者様が言ってたんだけどそれが取れる南東の鉱山も今は魔物がいっぱいで誰も取りに行けなくってねだからマチルダに会ったら緑色の宝玉を取ってきてほしいってお願いしようと思ってたんだお兄ちゃんたちもどこかでマチルダに会ったらそう伝えてくれないかな僕もマチルダを探しに行きたいけどお父さんを見てなくちゃいけないから
なあその緑色の宝玉探し俺たちも手伝わないか
Yes, we need to go and get those
だ
green
よな
orbs.
お前なら
Let's
そう
do
言っ
it.
てくれると思ったぜ
どうぞ二人でご勝手にって言いたいとこだけどこんな田舎に一人でいても退屈なのよね
We got 10 viewers on the stream. What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are enjoying the content.
エスタード島に帰る道が見つかるかもしれないしお兄ちゃんたちもしかして力を貸してくれるの
Simply don't care. Like,
ああ
and why I say don't care? They tried doing it with Dragon Quest. They failed spectacularly because 3 HD 2D sold 2 million, so hope and see.
きっと力を貸してくれるはずだ。
うん、ありがとうお兄ちゃん。
I was planning to do something with Dookie again, like, but it just never happened. But I just need to not be lazy and like actually go out and talk to people like, hey, do you want to do a video together or whatever. But yeah, I do want to do more collabs, but it's really a matter of if I get out there and say, hey, do you want to do something together? That's really what it amounts to. And oh yeah, the statues from DQ11 that lets you save your game at any time and heal you up. They're here, and like, here's the thing, like you're not here, like, my thing is that with something like that, it was clear that the reason they went after this game, went after the censorship, was not because of something of, oh, we're gonna make a change, because they already did the thing, they already did the thing. So ultimately what they wanted to do was the other best option, which is harm the sales of the game. Which is objectively worse to do, because usually something like that, demanding like, oh, people not buy the game or whatever, sends a different message to the company of, oh, people don't want this anymore. So we're just gonna make less. And ultimately, I'm not here to tell you like, oh, blindly spend your money on the game, because if you don't, they don't make the game anymore. I'm just kind of just telling you the facts, is that when they don't see sales, they don't make the game. Well, if that is true, then they would have publicly addressed it like, oh, we fixed whatever problem people had. But they've ultimately haven't addressed anything in that regard. It's probably just that 1 and 2 HD 2D didn't really was deemed not needed, that they didn't need to go on and make those changes. Just kind of how it works ultimately. But ultimately, for me, it's just like, I made that one video, I don't want to make another video like that ever again. So yeah. But ultimately, as long as people enjoy the content, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's like, if they went out and changed it, it is what it is. But even then, like, Dragon Quest has gone through multiple different translations. Obviously, back in the day on the NES, we had the Old English dialogue, because, oh, medieval time, we need to have Old English dialogue. And then Dragon Quest, and then during the 90s, when ENIX came back, they went with more faithful translation. I see. Like, because one thing I know is that at least like the 90s, we went through a time where they tried doing more faithful dialogue to the Japanese version, and then when Square and ENIX merged and became Square Enix, Yuji Horii wanted a different style of translation, and he personally likes the current translations that we've been seeing with the series ever since. Yeah, I don't know either. Like, honestly, this is the first time I heard about transphobic dialogue. Like, I think for me, it's just I've kind of fallen off with the anti-woke. Like I do think a lot of them are flip-floppers. They're disingenuous. They're not really fighting a crusade, in my opinion. They're just there to basically cloud and gain views and all that stuff. Which, yeah, like do the grind. Like, do the grind. Like, whatever you need to do to put in the work. Do whatever. I don't care what you do, but let's not pretend that they're actually there for the crusade and actually make gaming better. Because honestly, if they really cared about giving people actual good games, they would actually critique that one guy fucking Grums for not finishing his fucking game. And it somehow makes me woke for saying that some guy needs to actually finish his fucking game. Like, somehow that's a woke statement there. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Like, I'm not gonna talk too much about that, but the dude basically crowdfunded for a game that he claimed was going to be like WoW with mechs. And it's been like over 10 fucking years since he's basically crowdfunded for money, and there's no game out. And as of right now, he's basically trying to wipe that game out of people's memories, even though that game's been funded over 100K for. Yeah, I don't want to go too deep into that, but yeah, you know my thoughts here is that I don't consider my I don't want to say too much about my own political leanings and all that, but or if I'm woke or anti-woke. But ultimately, I do find this stuff to be tiring. I personally find the whole woke, anti-woke shit to be boring as hell and just tiring. Yeah. Anyways, here's the puzzle here. As you can clearly tell, they've reworked these puzzles now. They've went out and completely reworked these puzzles here. No, like there's a time and place, but people who try to like make gaming all political shit, like I don't have time. I don't have time for that. To hear that bullshit. Like at least with Kino Casino, they're funny. That they put on a show, but like anytime like I see a content creator out there like, oh, I'm trying to fight a crusade, I want to make everything better, everything not woke, blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm just sitting here like, are you really? Because at least with them, they make it funny. They try to have fun. They're not here. They're not actively there trying to claim that, oh, I'm trying to save gaming, blah blah. Like, Yellow Flash is... I don't want to go too deep into it because... Like, maybe I'll talk about it in, like, in Discord with you. Like, I find Yellow Flash to be a hypocrite. Yeah, 2024 kind of like opened my eyes a bit about like who's actually trying to fight the good fight will save versus those who are actually just there just to graft. Anyways, we're gonna quickly save here, and the stream's not over yet. We're still streaming. We're still gonna be streaming for a bit. Just needed to save before, unless I just wanted to make sure I had something saved.
皆さん、一つ聞いてもよろしいでしょうか。 気になっていたのですが、なぜあなた方はあの少年に力を貸すのですか？
困っている人を目の前に
Yeah, thankfully that's the case there. Because I think for most people, they really don't want to, like, they just want to talk about the game and why they like the game.
あなた方のような
And share that passion.
ウッドパルナの者たちに少しでもあれば良いのですが。
どういうことですか？
皆さんはあの村、ウッドパルナの由来を
Yeah, because DQ Twitter feels
あの村は
like you can kind of tell people
20年ほど前に
like hang their political
魔物に
takes
襲
on
わ
their
れたことがあ
sleeves
ったのです。
on Twitter.
その時
But at least on YouTube,
村を救うべく立ち上がったのは
most people just
パル
talk
ナ
about the
という名
game.
の一人の
I've
青年でした。
noticed.
村の者たちは戦いに行くパルナに約束しました。後で必ず助けに行くと。パルナはその言葉を信じて魔物のもとへ赴きました。ですが村の者たちは誰一人としてパルナを助けにはいかなかったのです。来るはずもない助けを待ちながらパルナは戦い続け、最後は魔物と共に命を落としました。村の者たちはこのことを悔やみ、せめてもの罪滅ぼしにと村の名をウッドパルナと改めたのです。しかしいくら村の名を変えようとも
Yeah, just because like
パルナの
Sylvando,
心は救われません。村の人々は
even though that's like literally the only thing there in DQ11 is
魔物
Sylvando.
に挑んだパトリックの父を見捨てた。あの村は何も変わっていない。いきなりこのような話をしてしまいごめんなさい。それからこれをもらっていただけますか？その人形は私がまだ少女の頃兄からもらったものです。持っていると勇気が湧いてきて、どんなに辛い時でも私を支えてくれました。ずっとお守りとして
Yeah, like there's a lot of bullshit that happened that year.
今の私には似合います。
Like I'm not saying specifically Dragon Quest
気に入らないようなら
with
捨
the
ててくだ
whole
さい。
anti-woke
それでは
boycott of
私は失礼します。
3HD2D. There was like other things that just kind of annoyed me a bit. Like I said, I'll talk more about it like maybe in Discord. Like not too publicly here, but there's just stuff that I was like, yeah. Yeah, what the hell are we doing here? Okay. Let's give back that green orb. And this is actually where I stopped in the Switch 2 demo. So this stuff right here is gonna be all new to me. I've been thinking about like doing other games. Like I had an idea one time because I thought we wouldn't get much information on DQ until May for the 40th anniversary and all that and DQ Day, where I was going to cover different games that were not RPGs to try to like grow my wings a bit on the channel. Like I thought up of an idea of doing Star Fox on my channel, like do reviews on the original games and all that. But now because Square Enix is like, oh, we're going to be discussing 40th anniversary information throughout the year, I have to be prepared to make sure that I talk about Dragon Quest. Though one of these days, I do want to go back and talk about some platformers here and there.
れるなんて。
Oh, we kind of just automated ourselves over to the room.
ほんとキーファってば、どこでもすぐに寝れるんだから、まったく羨ましいわよ。さてと、無駄話はこのくらいにして、私もそろそろ寝ようかな。じゃあおやすみ、二人とも。ねえ、私たちってもしかしてこのままもうフィッシュベルに帰れないのかな。あんたは家に帰れなくて寂しくないの？
Yeah.
私はもう家に帰りたい。
One of these days I should get back to like covering some platforming games. I think because now I've been mostly doing
なんちゃって嘘よ。
Dragon Quest, and now there's gonna be a lot of Dragon Quest shit that's going to happen that's going to be a thing this year.
いつまでも起きてない
It's
で。
kind of like we need to focus on this Dragon Quest content, capitalize on it, and hopefully this grows into something bigger because of it.
ねえ。
あ
I do think it's definitely the most somber game out there.
ねえ。
But it does lighten up because you are kind of tasked to save these places.
みんな見てよ。
Like it's definitely somber,
怪我
but
がとっても良くなった
but there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
私の名はハンクと言います。私が床に伏せていた時の話はパトリックから聞いております。ただただ心から礼を言わせていただきます。本当にありがとうございました。
お父さん、それとマチルダもね。
マチルダというのがさっきお前が言っていた女戦士のことか。
マチルダは強くてね、東の塔から僕とお父さんを助けてくれたんだ。それにね、緑色の宝玉だってお兄ちゃんたちと一緒に探してくれたんだよ。
そうか。ならばいずこかで会った時には礼を言わねばならんな。それはさておき、あなた方は何を
But even then, I don't think DQ7, like in tonally, is as dark is that dark of a game. It's still relatively tame when it comes down to it. It's kind of like what my take is.
しかしこの地に根付いた悪しき力を払えば活路が見出せるやもしれませんな。
それってつまり魔物を倒せばいいってことですか？
ええ。そもそもこの島が闇に閉ざされ災いが繰り返し起きるようになったのは魔物が東の塔に根付いた時からなのです。となると災いの根源となる魔物があの塔に救ってい
I
る
can
の
kind of agree 5 is
そ
kind
い
of
つを
dark.
倒せば何かが変わるはずです。見たところあなた方は
But
相当に
I don't know, like
塔の魔物にも
I think in terms of the most darkest moments of
だって
DQ,
さ、
like I do think of 7 sometimes, like the Haven,
退治しに行くの？
and of course DQ5's overall themes. I do think DQ8 also have some like sad moments at times. Like Ascantha comes to mind when I think about DQ8. Right.
なんと頼もしい傷を負ってはおりますが 私とて戦士、少し休んで加勢いたします。それと唐の魔物と戦うとなれば、
Yeah,
我らの村の
like what eventually becomes Immigrant Town or the Haven. Yeah, that's basically what that town was, is that you couldn't save it.
手勢を集めてまいりましょう。
ねえお父さん、村の人たちが助けに来てくれるとは僕にはとても思えないよ。お父さんが魔物退治に行った時、村の人たちはどうしてた？誰も助けてくれなかったじゃないか。今回だってそうかもしれない。たとえ約束してくれたって最後は裏切られるかもしれない。みんな勇気がないんだ。僕だって同じさ。みんなを信じられたらいいけど、そんな勇気僕には。
なあ、パトリックのことなんとか勇気づけてあげられないか？
Yep, let's give that wooden doll to Patrick.
これは
So that's also different. You now give the wooden doll at this point because you give that doll
ただの人形じゃないぞ。
at the end of the first
持
island
っていると
in both 3DS
勇
and
気が湧いてく
PS1.
る特別な人形だって言ってたぜ。
And I don't think I'm gonna, for the review for 7 Reimagined, I'm gonna go like, oh, I'm gonna go to every single different thing about that game.
不思議だな。なんだかマチルダが一緒にいてくれている気がするよ。お兄ちゃんたちありがとう。僕、村のみんなをもう一度だけ信じてみる。お父さん、僕も村の人たちを説得してくるね。
どうやらまたもやあなた方に助けていただいたようですな。さて、魔物のいる塔は東の岩山を北から越えた先です。必ずや村の者を連れて助太刀に参ります。それまではどうかお気をつけて。
Alright, now we have this guy now, and we are gonna head over to the tower. And there's already a healing area there. God damn. Yeah, those statues were never in the PS1 or 3DS version. It sounds basically the same as the 3DS one for this song. Yeah. I do agree on that sentiment. Like, definitely DQ 11 was kind of where I felt Sugiyama fell off. Like the best comparison I usually bring up about 11S is like the sequel trilogy to Star Wars. Like the sequel trilogy, like I barely remember any songs in the sequel trilogy other than Ray's theme. Like I do agree. I actually do agree on that sentiment that Sugiyama fell off somewhere. Like in terms of the earliest moment he fell off, probably DQ9. But then he kind of like picked it up again once 10 came around. Yeah, like 9, like you kind of saw him kind of falling off a bit. Yeah, 1 to 8 are really good. Are really good OSTs. And then 11 was kind of like the sequel trilogy for Sugiyama, where like he really did fall off. Though and the thing is that once we get to 12. Sugiyama's still technically composing the music for 12 because that one report that came out was basically stated that Sugiyama completed writing the songs before he passed away. So even though he's not really a part of the process for the music for 12, they're still going to use whatever he wrote for 12. So we'll see if 12 is kind of like his magnum opus when it comes down to OSTs. Yeah, it's technically going to be his last work because the rumor is that with 12, he kind of knew he was about to pass away, so he basically conjured up the music. Just wrote every single track for the game before he passed. You don't need to use the let loose. Here we'll use the let loose. That's kind of good on Dreamcast, guy. Of actually like finally experiencing DQ for once and seeing what people like about the series. Like I'm not gonna like throw shit on him for not knowing, because DQ is relatively niche here in the West, so it is what it is in that regard. Yeah, that's not super surprising about Dreamcast guy. Yeah, that's definitely not too surprising, knowing the platform he prefers mostly. How many levels do we have left? Okay, I'm gonna go on heal up the statue. Yeah. Yeah, that's not too surprising, just knowing what he prefers. Okay. Oh, dogged on Maribel. I think that's partly because people aren't too keen on FF16. Like, I know there's fans of DQ16, I know people who love the game, but I think overall, I kind of do feel 16 was that controversial of a game that it kind of just made people think, oh, let's try out something like Dragon Quest. Yeah, I have 16 on PS5 when it like dropped down in price, and then I got it on PC. And even then, I haven't really been motivated to play it because I talked to some of my friends who didn't like 16, and like they were like pretty specific of what they didn't like about it. And I listened to it, I'm like, yeah, I definitely wouldn't like this game. Definitely kind of shows optimization when it comes down to it. And hopefully with the RAM shortage being a thing, these developers kind of learn how to use the RAM efficiently. Because this RAM shortage is not going to leave anytime soon. Way. And I did that because I knew I can get away with that. Yeah. Yep. It's a sad day when I don't get the RAM I want. The amount of RAM I want. It's sad. The AI super data centers, the mom and pops there. Gotta love them. Gotta love them. Right, got the medicinal herb. Jesus, that's like only one right there. And we don't have any. Okay, so you're on healing. I didn't hear that specific story, but I'm not surprised. Because they are basically trying to push AI as the future, and they're telling people not to treat AI as slop. Because I think my take on AI is that I do think AI is very useful. Can be seen as very useful. You can streamline a lot of things. You can use it as a tool. But I think for most developers, especially Microsoft, they view it more as a cost savings measure rather than something to help speed development and projects. Okay, we got some medicinal herbs. Okay, our hero levels up pretty soon. I'm gonna heal. I kind of do think that they'll raise the Switch 2's price to like $500. Like that makes sense to me, because the Switch 2 is like 12 gigs of RAM, right? I think Nintendo is probably going to raise the price a little bit. Like, oh, we're just gonna move it up to $500 to 500. Like something like that does make sense to me. Okay. Yeah. Like, I get that, but at the end of the day, they are using 12 gigabytes, and that's money that you're spending there. So, I think ultimately what they're gonna do is they will raise it by a little bit. Yeah. They will raise it by a little bit, and maybe whenever this AI shit pulls down a bit, we could see the price go back to $450. Yeah. Okay, one more battle and then we level up. I think eventually they'll open up that RAM for more, to let people let devs use more of that RAM. I think for now it should be fine. Like, as long as they're not trying to aim 4K, like ultra high definition games, like it should be fine. Because I mean, we have Star Wars Outlaws, the game. Like, I know people have issues with the game, but it's a highly graphically impressive game with ray tracing and all that. And it runs pretty decently on Switch 2. yeah, I do think some Nintendo will allow some developers to disable game chat completely just so they can use more of that RAM for the game. Like it'll come down the line, but not now. It'll happen more like later down the line, but for now they're gonna try to have people use game chat more often. Which I'll be honest, I haven't used game chat at all ever since I bought my Switch 2 because no one wants to use game chat. They want to use Discord. Fuck. That's bad. That's... My main healer is dead now. Like, I'm not concerned too much about RAM. I'm more concerned about the CPU. The Switch 2. Like, I do think eventually down the line that will become more of a problem. Cause I think was RAM, like, let's say we eventually do get like DDR, faster DDR speeds and what have you. They're probably gonna stick around with the older speeds because, yeah. Well, it's not really like they cheaped out on the CPU. They basically got an SoC from NVIDIA that just happened to have that speed that happened to run at that speed specifically. Yeah. Like, I think for the most part they'll be fine this generation, but we'll see what happens. Because I do think this AI bubble, this AI situation we have ourselves in with the RAM shortage, is actually going to be for Nintendo's benefit. They're going to, because developers are going to be forced to go on and optimize their games, and with all the optimization they'll do, they'll eventually say, hey, we'll bring these games to Switch 2 because they're that well optimized. That they will kind of force themselves to optimize games on Switch 2 with the weaker CPU. Like, I see it in that scenario where developers will be forced to optimize. Yeah, pretty much that. Because with PC gaming, it's at a point now to where I can't really recommend PC gaming because of how expensive RAM is nowadays. That you're just better off going out and buying a console. Either Switch 2 or PS5. Because, let's face it, Microsoft kind of just said peace out to the... Yeah, it's gotten to that point. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the only reason I could see benefits on playing on PC is, of course, the highest frame rates possible, and also you want to go out and make content. Yeah. And it's unfortunately because of how much RAM is why I've kind of changed my stance on that. It's like, yeah, we're kind of fucked in that situation. A nice letter shield. We'll give that one to Kiefer. I can zoom anywhere, so if I wanted to rest or immediately zoom out. Let me see how long. Let me see how much this I can carry myself here. Yeah, it really does suck, because DQ11S on console, the best way to play it is Xbox. And it kind of just sucks that they just decided to piece out from the console industry and just abandoned Xbox. Yeah. We're almost close to ranking up Kiefer. I'm gonna try to get him up a couple of levels before we do anything else. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane how much that console just went up. This guy. Let's go. Mensana. What's this ability do? Significantly increases attack power by removing. That's actually a really good ability. We'll save. Man, that's sad. That's sad. That's like a Black Friday deal, which I assume was mostly from the retailer. Yeah, it's kind of clear that no one was going to pay $650 for that. Kind of insane that Sony decided yeah, we're gonna drop down, give Black Friday deals for the PlayStation 5. It definitely shows that they feel that they can gain more market share. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, the PS5, the reason it's doing so well is because it's, number one, like, probably like the only real option aside from Switch. And two, Sony hasn't really massively increased the PS5 here in the West, in America, compared to what Microsoft has done. Because ultimately, Sony is really competing with Nintendo. Like, that's really who they're competing against. And then Microsoft's trying to say, oh, we're trying to compete with everyone. Even people like Apple and all that stuff. That they've allowed their whole market share to dwindle like this. Okay, let's... downstairs. Hey, if I ever do sell it, at least I can sell... Like, at the very least, I can sell it how much I charge for it, I bought it for. Like, and say, oh yeah, that's a good deal right there. You're getting it for $500. Like, it's kind of crazy that the Xbox has now become an investment. Though, whether or not people buy into the investment, hard to say. The only reason I don't think it's going to be that helpful for me if I really wanted to go out and sell my Xbox Series console, for example, is because there are some places that were selling Xboxes at like clearance sales. Here. We're kind of close to ranking up soonish. Oh, Golem Heart. Let's see what it does. Oh, that is required for hard mode. Like, I have a feeling I'm gonna get my ass kicked against this boss, but we'll see. Like, I kind of feel like I do need to grind a little bit more on job classes, so we'll do that quickly and then go from there. Like, at least we're close by to an area where we can like heal up and... think it's insane. It's insane, like, where we are right now with prices. Ultimately, I guess on raw numbers, like, that is true, but it seems like most developers are more happy with what the Switch 2 has to offer versus Series S. There's also the one thing that we have to consider is that the Switch 2 is a portable console, which of course adds on the cost when you have that kind of design. Really terrible on a mobile handheld. Yeah, and I think that's the reason why developers prefer Switch 2 is because they have things like DLSS and other features to help enhance the appearance of the games. There's a chest there I haven't grabbed yet, so let me go do that. And also, like I said, I do want to, like, quickly. But yeah, you get mini mills a lot earlier in this game than. Okay, everything's actually going to plan, going to plan. Aqua Slash, that's a new ability. Let's see what this does. A swashbuckling slash that causes heavy damage to enemies from the material family, sometimes reducing their resistance to lightning. Got him. Now I could zoom back and just get some proper equipment. I'm gonna do that. just so we're just like we're set. You don't need to worry too much. So yeah, this guy doesn't accompany you like he did in
はい
PS1 and 3DS. So we'll get that to Kiefer. Hey, we are good to go. Everyone suit up and ready to face the challenge. And we can take care of that pretty easily. Can't take care of these guys that easily just yet. And I knew it. I knew it. There was going to be something to learn. And Crack's a pretty good one. Right. What? I should have gone and... What was I thinking? But whatever. we got people leveling up. Let's go. You'll love to see it. And then let's quickly save, and then let's face off against the boss. Yeah, this is actually pretty different from how it happened originally. I'll be back. I'm gonna go use the restroom, so you guys watch. So you guys can watch the cutscene.
あなた方は覚えていますか？村の者たちに裏切られ孤独に死んだ英雄パルナの物語を。私は英雄パルナの妹です。あの日子供だった私はいつになっても帰らぬ兄を追いこの塔へ赴きました。そこで私はあの方に囚われ言いくるめられ、そしていつしか兄を見捨てた村の人間を恨むようになっていたのです。心の迷いはやがてこの姿までも魔物のものとし、私は人間ではなくなりました。
マチルダさん、お願い、女の人を解放して島を元の姿に戻すのよ。
それはできません。私は村の者に何度もチャンスを与えてきました。ですが彼らは変わらなかった。戒めとした村の名も自分勝手な慰めに過ぎなかったようです。私の命こそがこの地の封印を解く鍵。私を倒さねば闇が晴れることはない。どうしても村を救いたいのなら私と戦いなさい。
待ってください。こんな奴ら親方様が出るまでもありませんぜ。足目にお任せください。
いいでしょう。
人間どもかかってきやがれ。
Oh, that felt good. This boss is pretty easy. I'm too sure what to expect, but one can heal, but we have crack. time if that. And we can go on credit if we need to. And now he goes. Like, I have a feeling that the Matilda boss or Marv in the 3DS localization might be harder. We'll see. Because that boss didn't feel that hard. Oh, this is different. This is very different.
ハンクさん、それに村のみんなも来てくれたのか。
パトリックのおかげです。あの子が私たちの目を覚まさせてくれたんですよ。パルナが妹に渡したという人形、それをあの子が持っているのを見て我々は思い出したんです。20年前に起きた悲劇を、決してあの過ちを繰り返さないという戒めを。
Are we actually gonna save her this time around and letting her die?
村の未来を守ろうと決めた。だから俺たちも戦う。もしも村人たちがかつて兄へそうしたように旅の方々を見捨てていたならば、私はウッドバルナを滅ぼすと心に固く決めていました。けれどやっと来てくれた。
まさか君はマチルダなのかい？どうして魔物の姿に？いや、そんなことはどうでもいい。本当にすまなかった。私たちが愚かだった。許してくれとは言わないよ。ただもう一度だけ機会をくれないか。村に戻ってきてほしい。そして皆と一緒に暮らそう。頼むマチルダ、どうか私たちに償わせてほしい。
お願いします、マチルダさん。帰ってきてください。ありがとう。しかしもう遅いのです。私はすでに悪に染まってしまった。そして私の命が尽きぬ限りこの島の闇が晴れる。
So now we just have more people realizing that she's fucked regardless.
そんな。
皆さん、今ようやく私の心は憎しみから解放されました。やるべきことはあと一つだけ。お分かりですね。
嫌よ、そんなの嫌。やっと仲直りできたんでしょ。だったら
それ以外に村を救う道はありません。皆さん、お願いします。どうか終わらせてください。
Damn.
マチルダ殿、最後に礼を言わせてくれ。私と息子のパトリックを助けてくれたこと、感謝する。
村の人々はようやく変わることができましたが、大事なのはこれからです。どうかウッドパルナをいい村にしていってください。
ああ、チカを。
それともう一つ、パトリックにありがとうと伝えていただけますか。あなたのおかげで村は救われたと。
分かった。必ず伝えると約束しよう。
最後に皆さん、ありがとう。そしてごめんなさい。辛い思いをさせてしまいましたね。初めて私と出会ったあの森を覚えていますね。あの森の奥をもう一度お尋ねください。これが私にできるすべて。マリベルさん、花の種、嬉しかったです。ありがとう。あなたたちならこの世界を変えることができるかもしれん。
And that was not like the stream freezing. That was just my PC not being able to like cache the shaders in time. And we're back here, just automatically.
チルダ殿からお前への言づてを預かっている。あなたのおかげで村は救われた。だそうだ。
本当？じゃあ僕はマチルダを探しに行ってくるよ。僕からもちゃんとお礼を言いたいから。お兄ちゃんたち、また後でね。
今は無理ですが、いつかはパトリックにも真実を話さなければならないでしょう。マチルダ殿、できることならこの村で平和に暮らしてほしかった。
Alright, you take care, Naka.
失礼しました。叶わぬ願いを抱いても何も始まりはしませんな。マチルダ殿があなた方に言っていましたが、出会った森の奥を訪ねろと。そこに行けばあるいは国へ帰るための手がかりを見つけられるやもしれません。もしも何もなければ、その時は私があなた方を生涯お守りいたしましょう。皆さん、命を救っていただいたご恩はこのハンク決して忘れません。寂しいですが、あなた方が自分の国に帰り、これが長い別れになることを祈っております。さあ、行かれるといい。さようなら、旅の方々。
Pet the doggo. It's puppy. It's puppy doggo. Let's fucking go. There's no monsters there this time. It's interesting. And we're back home now. Let's go.
ここは確か。どうやら戻ってきたみたいだな。確かその変なやつと話して石板を台座にはめて、俺たちは
変なやつとか失礼だぞ。オイラはこう見えてもれっきとした神様の。まあ細かいことはいい。お前たちよく戻った。ほうほう、お前たちの望み通り冒険ができてよかったろ。
え？ああ、まあそれはそうだけど。にしても一体あそこはどこだったのか。それとも俺たちは夢でも見てたのだろうか。
キーファ、あんたばっかじゃないの？あれが夢なわけないじゃないの。第一、3人ともが同じ夢を見るのも変だし。ともかくはっきりしてるのは、あんたたちのせいで私が危ない目にあったということね。ちょっとまだぼんやりしてるみたいだけど、あんた分かってるの？本当かしら？怪しいもんね。
なんだ、地震か？
buttons here or now.
あれ、揺れは収まったかな。いやー、びっくりしたな。またあっちの世界に戻るんじゃないかと思ったぜ。
ちょっと冗談じゃないわよ。ただの軽い地震でしょ。まあいいわ、無事に戻れたわけだし、ちょっとは刺激的だったから。さてと、私は家に帰るわ。ママがうるさいからね。
俺もまた親父を怒らせちまう。じゃあな、後でまた連絡するから。
失礼しちゃうわ。私には挨拶もなしってわけ？さあ、帰るわよ。おう、お前たちちょっと待て。お前たち今不思議な体験をしたはず。でもあれは夢じゃない。そしてお前たちも少しは分かったはず。分かったはずって何がよ。さっぱりだわ。お前たちもっともっと石板のかけらを集めろ。そうすればきっとおいらが言いたいこと分かるはず。答えは自分たちで見つけろってわけ？わざわざ呼び止めたんならもうちょっとマシなこと教えなさいよね。てか用事はそれだけ？だったらさっさと帰りたいんだけど。おうおう、お前たち今は一度家に戻るといい。そしてかけらを集めたらまたオイラのところに来い。かけらが揃った時、新たな道が開かれるぞ。ねえねえ。
And there he is. There she is sleeping. Do I assume I need to go? Yeah, I need to go back to the house. They mentioned the new island and all that. Off to the story. No, apparently there's more stuff. There's more stuff in Pokered. Guess I need to tell Merida. No. I think I know what they're talking about. I'm gonna head here. Yeah, so they streamlined it. Because before you had to go to Estard, but now they streamlined it to where you just go straight to the ship.
なあ、どうしてここにマリベルがいるわけ？
この私にはあなたたちのやることくらい全てお見通しってことよ。
ま、いいか。とにかくお前もここに来ると思ったぜ。もう大体の話は聞いてるだろ。新しい島と調査団のことだ。そのことで崖っぷちに住んでるあのじいさんまでが城に呼ばれたんだよ。なのにだ、俺たちは蚊帳の外ってわけ。調査団にも入れてもらえない。納得いかないだろ。もちろん俺もだ。そんなわけでついにあれを使う時がやってきたと俺は思っている。お前も同じ考えなんだろ。
Yes.
だよな。じゃあ早速始めるとするか。さあ、いつものように2人でそこの石の蓋を向く。よし、行くぞ。せーの。
ったく、こんなことをして階段を隠していたわけ？まあいいわ、早く降りましょう。
こっちだこっちだ。
何よ、待ちなさいよ。
じゃーん。どうだ、すごいだろ。ついに修理が終わったんだよ。
これってもしかしてずっと昔うちで使ってた船？相当ボロくなったんで廃船にしたってうちのパパは言ってたのに。
お前にも時々手伝ってもらったよな。何年かかったっけ。2年3年。途中俺たちだけじゃ無理かと思ったんだけどさ、じいさんに相談したらいい方法を教えてもらってなんとか完成したんだよ。まあいいや、とにかく乗り込むぞ。準備はいいか。よし、それじゃあ出発。目指すは新大陸だ。
ひどい、この私を置いてゆく気？それに出現したのは大陸じゃなくて島って話よ。
あ、そうだったな。とにかく出発。いざ。
They took out that one intro part in this version, which technically was never in the PS1 version. It was only really, I think, exclusive to the 3DS version. So yeah. First time on sea and we get our ass handed to. Nope. It's definitely an interesting way to. But yeah, first time on sea, we got our ass raped. No lube. definitely a lot more mini melts this time around. I can definitely tell.
はい。
Actually, we just kind of something brought us here because got raped in sea. They took the one line where Maribel has it in her mind of what just happened. What just happened. So now's a song now? You have to sing the song just to... And then the dungeon's completely redesigned now. Yes. It definitely feels like there's no monsters in this area. I kind of like this because it kind of shows that, yeah, the dungeon, this mine here has been like, is pretty old when it comes down to it. And it's in the same spot where yeah, it looks like there's... Well, there's monsters up there that we can... Oh, this is... That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's spell this. Let's head over to Estar Castle.
Ah. Yeah. Ah.
Let's talk to her. I think we should have enough new mells. Or not.
Oh.
Instead, head down here. I like this animation that you're steering it with a. That's awesome. Do need to go back there later because there's a shiny thing there. And that takes us to Emberdale. What I'm gonna do is zoom to Estart's castle to like quickly optimize this. Then we should be able to go through here and then zoom to the Shrine of Mystery. And I think we should be at the end of the demo, because I believe the demo only contains the first island. So yeah, Shrine of Mysteries. Yep, let's... This is where we'll save, and yeah! Alright, that's the end of the demo, everyone. Personally, I enjoyed the demo, so I enjoyed my time with the demo. I thought the game, gameplay-wise, is pretty good. The changes they made are interesting. I'll talk more about it when I make my video on the thoughts on the demo, so be on the lookout for that. Like I said, at the earliest, it should come out on Thursday, because once I'm done streaming, I'm immediately going to start recording and all that stuff, and give my full thoughts on the demo and the changes they made so far to the game. And hopefully I get the editing all done today and just upload it to YouTube tomorrow. If not, then you'll see it on Friday or Thursday night, depending on how quickly I can get the video out. And then afterwards, I'm going to be doing the Trails second chapter review. That'll be out on Thursday around the same time Trails Beyond the Horizon comes out. So be on the lookout for that. And then afterwards, unless there's something that happens in between then, it will be the Dragon Quest VII review. And that I am anticipating to be in February. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be on the lookout for that video by then. And I'll try to get some more videos out in between, just so you guys have more content throughout the whole month of January. So yeah. But yeah, I hope to see you guys on the next one. Take care.